So now that we can look up the usernames for a particular email address, let's add a user method to send that information back to the user in an email. And so I'm going to start with one of these methods that sends an email. Actually, that's in user. So go to user. And then, so here's one that sends an email, send reset code. So I'll just go ahead and copy this code for now. And then I'm going to add my new method to the end. So public function send usernames email. And I need the email address that the user is looking up. And then I'm going to paste in that code from before. And let's see what we have. So let's go ahead and we'll keep the share URL. We don't need a code. We're going to need a shared database. We're going to call up, look up usernames and pass in email. And that's going to return a usernames list. Then we don't need any of this stuff. And there's basically going to be three cases. So either there's going to be 0 usernames coming back, in which case we want to tell the user that no usernames were associated with that email address. Or there's going to be 1 username coming back, and we just want to put that in the email. Or there's going to be more than 1 account coming back, and so we're going to want to put them in a list. So I'm going to try to keep this simple. So what I'm going to do is some of this stuff is going to be common to all of them, but the body is going to be different. So let's say if count of usernames is equal 0, then we're going to do one thing. Else, if count of usernames is equal 1, then we'll do something else. Otherwise, we had more of them. And then the difference is going to be this body tag. So body is equal to and let me go ahead and I'm going to comment all of this stuff out because it's breaking my auto indent and formatting. So comment all of that stuff out. And then let's go ahead and there. Okay, so hopefully auto indent will work now. So for the body, what we want is copy this text. So the email address email was used to request, was used to look up usernames. On the generic share website. And then there were no usernames found that match your email address. Okay, and then here's the case for exactly 1 username. Your username is, and then we want the username, so that's going to be username is equal to, and then username sub 0, and then share database username key. And then this is going to be in HTML, and so we want to encode all of those special characters so it shows a straight text. We don't want any formatting here because somebody could create a username that had basically anything they wanted in it, including JavaScript or whatever, and a form that had a submit button that fished the user into surfing to a site they didn't want. So we don't want to let them just put arbitrary HTML right in this message. So I'm going to use HTML entities to encode all of the HTML special characters. And that will give me something that's safe to put as literal text in the body of this message. Okay, so there's the case for 1. And then for more than 1, I'm going to have a for loop. So I'm going to say the usernames associated with this email address are, and then an unordered list. And here I'm just going to put some PHP code. And then after that, I'm going to say body dot equal and I'm going to close off the unordered list. And then I think that's actually it for the body. So here's the loop. I'm going to echo an li followed by the HTML entities, username sub share database username key dot end li. And then I'll add a carriage return new line to the end. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to indent that so it's a little more readable. So there's my body for multiple usernames. And this is kind of silly, so I'm just going to go ahead and add body dot equal UL. All right, so now we have our body. Let's go ahead and cut down to here. So subject, we don't need this body. We're not going to reset the account information. So the subject is your generic share username. And then we'll just pass in email, subject and body, and then send it. So let's go ahead and test this. So I'm going to create another page to test that. Test, send usernames. And I'm going to need a bunch of requires for this, but let's go ahead and includes user.php. Share database. And let's just see what we get errors on and go with that. So user is new user, and user send username's email. And I have a bunch of them registered, so I should actually get several of them. And then I'm going to load this page. So test send user names. Send usernames. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so didn't open user.php and assets includes. Assets includes user.php. Oh, there we go. Okay, undefined constant root directory, and that's going to be in constants. Okay, share email not found. So we need to include that as well. Okay, and then these are being echoed, not attached to the body, so let me fix that. So here, instead of using echo, we want to say body dot equal that. Okay, and so now I should have an email. And here we go. Generic share username lookup. Email address was used to look up usernames on generic share. And there's the list of my current usernames. So let's try it with no usernames. And actually, for testing purposes, I just want to make sure that this goes to me instead. So I'm going to hard code my address in here temporarily. I don't want to spam somebody accidentally. And then in my test page, I'm going to give a bogus email address, no accounts associated with it. And then let's try this. Generic share username lookup. There were no usernames found that match your email address, so that worked. And then let's just create one account. So I'm going to log out, sign up, and bogus at bogus.com. So here's an email address with exactly one account associated with it. So we'll give bogus@bogus.com. Oops, that was the wrong page. Let's load this one. And then we'll get the email. So here's an email with exactly one. And I think I need a period here, but other than that, everything looks great. So we'll go back to user. And then for this case, I'm going to add a period after the username. And let's try one more time. Great. So I just need to change the email address back to $email. And I think that's it. So I'm going to, one more time I'll test since I made a change.